Hello folks. So I'm going to do a little update on the this is for the flounder slash bow fishing boat, doing all the electronic controls to be able to control the air motor from the front of the boat. What we have over here is a Lenco trim tab actuator. It has 4 1/4 inches of stroke. Basically means that this shaft will come out 4 1/4 inches. Doesn't sound like a lot, but it just depends on ratio. And I'll try to explain that a little bit better here in just a second. But this is more than enough. Lenco does make actuators that are for trim tabs, as well as they make actuators for the hatch lifts, like on cigarette boats where they want to show off the nice big shiny powerful motors. You do not want to use the hatch actuators. They are not built to withstand the kind of I guess pressures that the trim tab actuators are designed to withstand. Also, these live their life primarily underwater, so you can be assured that with it up there controlling the steering on your air motor, your salt spray, salt water is not going to hurt this actuator at all. So basically what we have over here, we're going to do a joystick control, so this just moves either way to be able to steer it. And then this is a throttle control that is made by a company called Control King. And basically what they give you, it's like $280, but they give you this remote. All this gray wire is runs back to your motor, and they give you this little servo, and this is basically the same thing as a servo off of an RC car, but which you could change the servo and run just about any servo you wanted to on it. So if you need a bigger one or a more powerful one, or you wanted a solid all metal one or stainless one, you could upgrade this to any RC steering servo or throttle servo that you wanted. This box is the main thing that I was after when I bought this setup. So basically it's going to allow you, using this potentiometer, to set the throttle all the way from 0 all the way to basically full throttle. This switch here is pretty nice, because let's say we're cruising along bow fishing, and this is our preferred setting for the motors speed wise. Shoot a fish, whatever the case is, you need to stop. You flip this switch down to idle, and it automatically will bring the motor back down to idle and just sit there and idle. This switch here is going to be for our power pole, so I can push the power pole and set it down if I need to. Let's say you reel your fish in, and you get everything loaded back up and you're ready to proceed. You lift your power pole up, and then all you do is flip this switch back up, and it automatically goes back up to the last setting where you left the throttle. So this thing is going to be really, really nice. As far as the control, using the linear actuator, sorry, I was looking for an old rundown switch I had laying around here. Using the linear actuator, it's just going to be an electronic signal that goes back to that motor. Let me back up real quick. This gray wire, do not be concerned with the length. It is a 4-wire. You can order this wire really cheap off of Scamazon or eBay, and you can extend this wire if needed. And this setup, Control King, was originally designed to control the throttle on kicker motors. So you've seen them on offshore boats. You've probably seen them on a bunch of freshwater boats up north, where they'll run, say, 150 or 175 Suzuki on the back of the boat, and they'll also have a little, like, either 10, 15, maybe 20 horse kicker outboard sitting right next to it that they use for trolling. This throttle is designed to run that kicker motor's throttle. Now, I did not specify a kit. Matter of fact, there's only one that shows up on Scamazon. I'll try to leave a link in the description. But there's only one that shows up on Scamazon, and it is this one. I didn't care. I wasn't too concerned about what motor it fit, because I'm mainly just after this servo and this control. You can fabricate the brackets. All it does is a rod is going to run from here to the lever arm on the carburetor of the motor that you're running, whatever whether it's a Honda, Predator, Kohler, whatever you're running. You'll just run a rod from this thing to the actual throttle opening butterflies, the plate. So you will have to bend up, some mounts and mount it to the motor in some way. Now, once I get the parts to finish rebuilding this Honda GX 690, I will try to film the install of this, as well as when the motor goes back up on the boat, I'll try to film the install of this, and that way you guys can see how I'm doing it. But if you look under here, that is nothing more than a 2-button jack plate switch for a hydraulic jack plate. So basically, when you push one way, it's just pushing down on the switch on this side, or when you push this way, it just pushes down on the switch on this side. Very, very simple design. I still have to finish the top here. I'm going to, I need to turn this Delrin and blend it better down here, and then I'm going to put an aluminum ball nut, captive nut on top of it. But yeah, there it is. Let me drop a comment. I'd really appreciate it when you guys comment. I try to answer everyone. Actually, I do answer everyone. At least now I'm still small enough. But let me know if you guys would be interested in something like this, because this is something I'm contemplating building. Even if I did build it and sell it, you would still have some light fabrication to be able to mount the servo, just because there's so many different engines out there. And but the biggest thing is you'd have to figure out how to mount the actuator. I can tell you just off the top of my head, knowing what the actuator cost, the switches, aluminum. This is an old piece of aluminum. I plan to fly cut this and actually bring it to polish like this stuff is here. And there's some imperfections in this, but being that it's for personal use, I'm letting them slide. But just a ballpark, the complete setup, the panel, this will be boxed in so that it hides all the wires, and you'll have a single outlet with just one thing of wires coming out of it that can be wrapped in wire loom, so that it's nice and clean, and then mounting brackets to be able to mount it wherever you want to on the front of the boat. But what you have here, if it was fully built out, turnkey setup, to send it out, you'd probably be looking somewhere in the realm of $1,000–1,500. I know it sounds like a lot, but by the time you buy the actuator and the control king by themselves, you're already well over $500. So it's not the cheapest endeavor, but sure will be nice. I mean, when you talk about just having to use a finger to steer that air motor, and same thing with the throttle, man, that's going to be nice. So I've seen a couple of different designs out there, and I will say this Lenco actuator is kind of noisy. We originally had it on the front of the boat attached to the original steer control, and I didn't like that. So this is going to end up getting mounted back on the back of the boat directly to the motor. It can be noisy sitting right there next to that noisy Honda engine running, so who cares. But it's going to allow full control. I'm also going to incorporate a start-stop switch on this side, so you'll be able to actually kill the Honda motor on the back, and you'll actually be able to restart it from up here. It'll be on the side of this. And man, there was something else that I was supposed to put on this side, and I can't remember what it is. Oh, the control for the lights. The control for the outrigger's lights is going to be over on this side. The little turn knob with the push button will be over on this side. So basically you will be able to fully control this boat when you're in flounder or bow fishing mode, from right here. Wherever this is mounted at will control everything that has to do with your bow fishing or flounder rigging. So that being said, man, you know, drop me a comment. Tell me what you think. If you got an idea for an improvement or something that would be better, I'd love to hear it. None of this is set in stone. Obviously, I'm still working on it. I got to build the sides and then build the bottom plate. I got to figure out what push buttons I'm going to use on the side for the start-stop. But, man, let me know what you think. I appreciate any feedback. And stay tuned, because you can see I've got it out of the shop for now. I'm waiting on parts, and so I had to just pull it out and you know, make room for other stuff to go on until all these parts come in, which I should get the parts this weekend to finish rebuilding the Honda motor. And once it's rebuilt, I can start fabricating the mount plate and the steering and so forth, and I'll be sure to video all that, take you guys along for the ride. And yeah, so more to come on the flounder boat / bow fishing boat. But for now, this is how we're going to set up the power steering and power throttle control. So let me know what you think. I appreciate your time watching. Any likes, comments, subscribes, greatly appreciate it. Y'all have a good day.